Welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Jabron.
Jabron, the Parlay Pounder.
You got it. We're back with some NFL action here, baby.
We always got to finish strong, and we always got to finish with the final three NFL games.
Times.
And this is a prime time of prime time games here. I'm talking about the 3:25 kickoff Fox San Francisco 49ers, Philadelphia Eagles, where the Eagles are a home dog, 3-point dog. You got that total being bet down to 47.5. So much going on here. I think a lot of people were surprised when this line opened up at San Francisco at a plus 2.5.
Yeah.
Now they're a -3.
Yeah, Andy, and I think it's just what people are thinking on this, what sports bettors are thinking on this, is San Francisco has something to prove from last year's NFC Championship game where their top two quarterbacks went down. They had Chris McCaffrey playing quarterback at the end of the game.
That was weird.
And the Eagles just kind of took it over on them. So I think what a lot of people are thinking is that San Francisco has to come in here, show them their grit, show them that it's going to be a different kind of way this year. Yeah. This is probably a preview of the NFC Championship this year. One of these teams is going to be in the Super Bowl, I believe, Andy.
Looks that way to me.
So I believe with the plus 3 points towards Philadelphia's way, I have to stay with the Eagles. Yeah. I think it's just the smarter play. Philly does need to, something of a bounce back effort after a razor-thin victory over Buffalo. You can make a case either way. The Eagles coughed up 505 yards to the Bills in Mr. Josh Allen.
Bills do that. They do. They'll put some yards on you. They'll do some scoring, but they'll also turn off and figure out a way to lose, and that's exactly what Buffalo did.
Exactly.
We called that one pretty good last week.
Exactly. And the offense was just good enough with 378 yards for the Eagles. That's 4 straight games the Eagles have won by 7 or fewer points. Granted, most of were against very, very good competition. Yeah. That's what happens when you're a good team in the NFL. You play good teams week in, week out, especially when you get to this stage in the schedule.
Yeah, it's all that whole parity thing. If you go to the Super Bowl, you're going to have one of the top two,
no doubt
on
about
paper, toughest schedules. And with that run, Philadelphia has covered 4 out of the last 5 games with that one outlier being a push.
Yeah, with a push.
So there you go. Philadelphia's been covering, even though it's been against that top competition. The same can't be said for San Francisco.
No.
They've only covered 2 out of the last 6 games.
Yeah, Niners are kind of this team that, either they beat you by a million or they don't really know when to let up and push the pedal down.
Right.
They held the Seahawks to just 220 yards, 132 yards passing, and 14 first downs in their last outing. San Francisco has been scoring great over the last 3 games winning streak with 27 or more points in each matchup. I could see the 49ers giving Philly some issues here, but ultimately I like the Eagles at home. Yeah. It's going to be a fun one. Regardless, Andy, this is a game of the year for the NFL. Everybody's going to be watching this one. It's going to be awesome.
Now that total is being currently bet back down.
For sure.
It's at 47.5 right now is what I am looking at. The last 5 times these two teams have squared off, the under has hit.
Yeah, Andy, this is 2 of the best defenses in the league and 2 of the best running teams in the league. So these games kind of fly with these 2 teams just because of the running game is so well. Yeah. You know everything about the tush push, getting those first downs and just, churning it out and keeping that clock running. On the other side, you probably got the best player in NFL football that's not a quarterback in CMC that really churns up yards, and then don't forget about Deebo Samuel coming out of the backfield as well. Yeah. So really like this game. Can't wait to see it, but I would be on the under if I have to lean one way. 2
of the top 4 rushers in the league are going to be featured as tailbacks in this game. Christian McCaffrey, 939 yards, leading the league. Right there in the 4 hole, though, is DeAndre Swift at 770 yards. And also take into account, you mentioned Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
The tush push.
And Jalen Hurts,
Yeah, Jalen Hurts. He's a fantastic running quarterback, and he only does it when he has to or when it makes sense, and he takes care of himself.
Only when there's 6 points on the line, it seems like he does it. But he's very good. One thing I wanted to add about DeAndre Swift is he is questionable. I just saw it pop up, so make sure you check his status before laying the money on the line with the Eagles. Make sure you see that status because, like you said, one of the best in the biz if he's on the field.
All righty, let's move on to Sunday night.
Ooh.
NBC.
Let's go.
Kansas City on the road to Green Bay, a place that you were just at,
the
right?
Packers. I'm repping the Amon Green. They put a great taste in my mouth beating those Chargers. I loved it. One of the best atmospheres in all of football.
Lambeau.
Maybe only second to one place that I'm thinking of, and it's the team they're playing right now.
Oh, yes, Arrowhead. So far, that is a fun stadium to go to, but Lambeau, the frozen tundra.
Yep.
And Green Bay's catching 6 points. They're a 6-point dog at home, but come on, it's the Chiefs.
It's the Chiefs, the Super Bowl champions. I'm leaning towards the Chiefs here. I know how important this game is for Green Bay not to lose any more ground in the NFC North race, but the Chiefs' defense is superior unit here.
Yeah.
I just think I just can't trust Jordan Love.
I was going to ask you about him.
He's making progression as a starting quarterback in this league, but against a top-tier opponent like the Kansas City Chiefs, we saw it last week. They can come out firing, get up by a couple scores, but the Chiefs still can put it in fifth gear and really, put it on these, kind of minimal opponents. Is I would say is a middle of the pack kind of guy. As are the Green Bay Packers.
I was just kind of a casual fan, kind of flipping through the channels there, and I saw that Jacobs touchdown break.
For
and,
sure.
Las Vegas goes up 14-0, and even then I'm like, it's early.
It's the Raiders.
Early. It's the Chiefs, and it's the Raiders. And the Chiefs, to their credit, ever since Andy Reid's been there, they've been able to outplay competition, win the games they're supposed to win. And this is a game they're supposed to win.
For sure, Andy. And this should be a great game, but I do got the Chiefs 31, Packers 20, so give me Kansas City by 6 points easily. They win this by a touchdown easy, I believe. Patrick Mahomes is going to make the plays, especially turning down this, last few games of the regular season. They're going to be in great shape as going into the AFC playoffs.
So this has been bet down from 7.5 all the way down to 6.
Yeah.
That total, though, has stayed pretty firm at 42.5. What do you think of that?
I would go. Man, I think it has to go with the over, just because I think the Chiefs are going to score a lot of points in this one. Yeah. And the Packers, like I said, they can score points. I do believe that the Chiefs make timely stops in this and give them that cover. But I do believe the Packers can score enough points to help the Chiefs out with this over.
Yeah, they probably could. They probably can. And, you were just there. You know what's going on with that offense. They can get you there.
They can get a couple points. Like I said, Chiefs 31, Packers 20. I got the total at 51, so I believe it will go over.
All righty, should we move on to Monday Night Football?
Let's do it, Monday!
Oh, boy, the Cincinnati Bengals not having the season they're looking for. They're heading down to Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars are 8-3.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people expected them to be about 8-3 at this point and thought this was going to be a primetime type of matchup, but injuries and everything else caught up to Cincinnati Bengals. They got off to a slow start, and everyone's like, well, they've been off to a slow start the last 3 or 4 years. Okay, well, then you throw a Joe Burrow and injury on there. T. Higgins is out. He's questionable. I just for Cincinnati, it just feels like, well, if this guy's injured, I'm injured too. And it's kind of been a weird roller coaster type of season. That leads to this point spread being Jacksonville an 8.5-point favorite.
Yeah, Andy. Jacksonville Jaguars are one of the hottest teams in the league, like you just said. But they've also covered 7 of their last 8 games, Andy.
I like that.
The Jags are a cash cow for bettors right now, and I've been locking him in. Thick number here, but I have little confidence in Jake Browning in the Bengals. I think he just stares down Jamar Chase, and it's a very hard thing to do when that's all you're trying to do. So give me the Jaguars, double-digit victory. Jags by 1 million.
Yeah, I don't want to focus too much on it. It's Monday night, but this just isn't the matchup that's really moving the needle one way or the other.
It really hasn't, and I know the Jacksonville Jaguars have scored first touchdown in 7 of their last 8 games. I think they start fast here,
probably.
And the Bengals are never going to be able to recap that. So I love a huge game from Trevor Lawrence here, Calvin Ridley, everybody on the Jacksonville Jaguars offense to get right with this game against the Bengals that are banged up real bad.
Yeah, and Jacksonville's their offense is turning it out right now, averaging over 225 yards per game through the air, over 108 yards on the ground. That's great balance in the NFL. It's going to be too much for Cincinnati to handle.
Too much.
That total's at 38 real quick. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a real low total, Andy, but there's a reason for that. It's because Jake Browning doesn't look like he's going to be able to get the ball in the end zone. That being said, 38 is very low. Jacksonville could make a run at this themselves with, 35 points. I believe it can get to the over. I do believe it can get to the over. I just don't see Jacksonville not putting up 30 points in this, so it's going to be very hard to keep that under with the Jacksonville Jaguars scoring 30 points.
You're going over. You're going over.
Give me the over.
Hey, it's Monday night. Why not? Load up. It's Monday night. Get it back.
Yeah.
You got a parlay play, don't you?
I got a 3-team parlay, Andy. I'm starting this out with an over. We talked about in the first segment, Miami Dolphins, Washington Commanders, over 49.5. That's my first leg. Second leg, lock of the week, Denver Broncos, plus 3.5 against the Houston Texans. That is the second piece. Last piece, we just talked about it, Philadelphia Eagles, plus 3 points against the San Francisco 49ers, putting $25 on this, Andy, to receive 164.
Ooh. 25 to 164, and it's just a 3-teamer.
It's just a 3-teamer.
It's not a 14-teamer like we talked about earlier.
I might throw a couple 14-teamers in there, but no, these are my 3 best plays that I believe are on the NFL slate. Like I said, over 49.5 for the Dolphins Commanders, plus 3.5 for the Denver Broncos at the Houston Texans, and then plus 3 for the Eagles against the 49ers at home.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Well, that's going to about do it for us this week. And I want to do a nice little shout out here and congratulate 3 contestants that follow us on Twitter. That is podcast_WTL. Yeah. That's really been growing for us, our Twitter handle. But we have a fun little cross promo with the Herd at Sports Bar in La Vista, Nebraska. All you have to do is pick a winner on one of our posts.
Yep.
And your name is thrown in the hat, and you get drawn for a $25 gift card. All you got to do is show up to the Herd at Sports Bar over there by Cabela's.
Yep.
And spend it.
It's great. They have great food, great drinks, everything over there. And like you said, it's in the middle of everything over there with Cabela's and all the stores. So it's a very good location for them. Very good place to eat, watch some games, drink some beers.
A lot of fun live shows are done out there. Their morning show that's on Tri-Cities is also out of there with Ravi Lula.
Correct.
But Jeremy Odom, Talon Barber, and Tyler Allen were the lucky 3 that gave us their picks on Twitter. All you got to do is say, I think Nebraska's going to win. I think Nebraska's going to lose. Whatever you say.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that makes you eligible for this $25 gift card at no risk whatsoever.
Gotta love it. Congrats, guys.
So be sure to follow us on Twitter, also ESPN Tri-City Radio and the Facebook page. And our YouTube channel is growing as well. We also have a little bit going on over on TikTok, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Primetime games on TikTok. I'm leaning each way, so make sure you check into that at WTL Sports. On TikTok, search for us, you'll see our logo.
There we go. For Jabron, the Parlay Pounder, I'm Andy Klassen. Thank you for listening. This has been WTL.